Hey guys, this is Hell Hades. This is going to be another raid Shadow Legends video. Guys, I said I would do this. They didn't decide to give us the information for the additional stuff for Doom Tower earlier this morning when they gave us the bosses. But there's actually a whole bunch of new Highlight 4.1 features that are coming out for this new patch. So let's just run through them. There's not a ton of stuff here that I've not really spoken to you about. There is a link for anyone to go and check this stuff out as well. So you can go and check it out on the official Plarium site. This will also be going up with our thoughts on the hellhades.com website if you want to go and check it there. So along with some initial thoughts about how to start to beat some of these bosses. So update 4.1, literally going to be coming in about a week's time. Maybe less than a week actually. It hasn't been long since our last update, we know. So there's going to be some exciting additions to the existing features. Doom Tower updates, the two new bosses, which I spoke about in my video this morning. They look tough, really tough. Rebalanced rooms and new artifact sets. I'm going to get into the artifact sets in a second, but these actually look a bit better, I've got to say. So we'll get into what those look like in a second. New champions, of course. Any patch is always new champions with this game. I think the new champions are basically going to be the new fusible legendary. So we know the new fusion legendary is sweet. The new dwarf legendary, it looks super cool. Normally what they do as well is drop a couple of other new legendaries which aren't part of any sort of fusion, and they're normally good, and they normally drop in epics and rares to become the new fusion. It's got to the point where holding on to food in the vault just in case they might use it in a fusion is kind of like pointless from my point of view. And then they're going to do some improvements for clan search and application. I'm quite interested in what they're doing with this. So Doom Tower, one of the raid's largest and most varied game modes. Also incredibly difficult, to be honest. But maybe not so much on normal, but on hard it really is difficult. But what you've seen so far is only the beginning of what we had planned. Cool. I always said this, like Doom Tower should be something that they can almost reinvent and keep it exciting. And they're trying to do that, definitely. You will see in 4.1, the first of these, two new bosses, two new artifact sets to craft from the Forge, rebalanced floors, and some new secret room requirements. Some of the old bosses will return as well, albeit with a different affinity. That's interesting as well, actually. Be ready to adjust your tactics. That's... I didn't realise they were going to do that. That's actually pretty crafty, pretty interesting. Interestingly here as well, look at this affinity for the Griffin. It's now multiple, whereas beforehand we saw just one affinity on these bosses. So, yeah, that's pretty crafty. People probably won't like that. It's actually a clever thing to do. People probably won't like it. Of course, the old Doom Tower you've come to know is not going to disappear. We'll just go between rotations to ensure the challenges are fresh but not monotonous. I do like that. I mean, the Doom Tower was really fun first time round, and it gets slowly more boring because, quite frankly, the rewards didn't warrant the effort. And you know, I'm super lax. I just lost to floor 106. I'm super lax with it. I literally throw a team in. I think the team's probably fine, and I just hit go, and then I hope that it does it, to be honest. And most of the time it does. So I'm quite lucky with that. So I'm not going to go over the bosses in this. We've talked about the bosses in previous video. You can go and check that out. But what it does say here is fighting Grathian will require micromanagement, timing both buffs and debuffs. I spoke about that in my video earlier. And keeping an eye on the Skybond stacks he gains over the course of the battle, which empowers him. Whether you trust speed or toughness to see you through is up to you. And as a reward, we get this Griffin. You will get Griffin feathers, which can be turned into this shiny new set, the Guardian sets. So it's a 4-set piece. The wearer absorbs 10% of all damage dealt to ally champions. Okay, so we've got almost like a tank set by the looks of it. The wearer is tanking up percentage of damage from allies. So a bit like what you get right now when someone's got ally protection on. So it's almost like a set that's empowering ally protection. Kind of like the idea of that, actually. Heals by 10% of the wearer's max HP every turn. So you can have this as like a high HP, tanky type character who is going to absorb damage from the rest of your team and heal whenever he gets a turn for 10%. Sounds like a decent set, actually. Sounds pretty good. Making more use of your tanks. It's important to remember that Guardian artifacts will not affected by things like HP burn, poison, because that's just a straight percentage of your health damage. What do you think on this one, guys? Guardian set, to me, already better than any of the other sets in the Doom Tower. I think it's actually got some different applications. I think it can be used in the game. So, thumbs up. First one, I think it's actually decent. Iridolf here, and then his two cronies. We spoke about those earlier. This boss is it looks very tough as well. And let's just read what they say here. So let's just see what it's got to say here then. As you can see from this table, Iridolf thrives on messing with your team's active skills and taking advantage of that. To make matters worse, he's got 3 adds to consider at all times. Fail to kill them before Iridolf uses his Conjure Souls or Consume Souls skills, and you'll be in deep trouble. Yes, you will. On the bright side, Iridolf is not immune to cooldown increased skills himself. That's an interesting one. I didn't think about that earlier on today. So you can use that to your advantage. And if you can manage to kill the Eternal Priest at the right moment, you'll get all of your skills off of cooldown. So you're controlling your own cooldowns as well as him trying to control them. So I like this little blurb actually. It does give us a bit of a sense of what they were going for with the boss. If you defeat Iridolf, you can collect Dragon Bones and build the Bloodthirst set. This set I like. So it's basically like a lifesteal set, but with crit rate built in and more healing than lifesteal. Now, if you're in endgame, I'm in endgame, I don't really use lifesteal. I don't really use it. I don't really have a need for it. So it's interesting to kind of consider, is it relevant? Is it relevant to endgame? But throwing a 12% crit rate in there as well as healing, this is by far the strongest set I have seen come out of Doom Tower, and probably, maybe it's just straight up one of the strongest sets in the game for the average player. If you're in normal Doom Tower and you're still kind of like mid-game, working your way towards endgame, if you can get yourself a bunch of Bloodthirst set, even if it's 5-star, it will help you a ton. Like a ton. So I really like this set. I think they've done a good job throwing this set in the mix. This is more like it, Plarium. This is more like the sort of sets that we want to see from these Doom Tower bosses. Sets that improve you so that when you come into this environment for the next time, you've got a chance. Much like the lifesteal set, Bloodthirst does not affect damage increase on poison and stuff like that. It will, however, stack with other lifesteal-like skills. I guess I mean leech. But yeah, awesome. I like that set. So let's just look at the other few bits and quality of life improvements are clan improvements. Here are a list of the quality of life improvements to the clan search and application that's going on. So you can now filter by language, by activity, by power. It's interesting. So if you're looking to find the right type of clan for you, we're actually got some filters now to make sure you get the right group of people. Clan leader will be able to set a clear player power requirements. And much like I see in every other game, Clash of Clans, I call the same ones out again and again because it's ones that I've played. But, you can set your entry requirements to come into your clan so you don't get kind of spammed by a load of people that are just a bit irrelevant to your setup. That's cool. I like that. Suggested clans will be displayed based on the player's power. I feel like they're a bit obsessed with player power in this game, and it really is meaningless the way they've set it up right now. Player power is just based on, your equipment, and it skews basically around resistance and around crit rate, which is just bonkers. It skews around the amount of champions you've got sitting in the vault wearing gear that is never going to be worn in an actual battle. So I wish they would change player power to be a bit more relevant if this is the way they're going to go. Or perhaps have player power kicked out when they start doing proper clan versus clan stuff. Players who are not part of any clan yet will have a quick join option to be able to join from a list. I like it. Clan leader will be able to activate clan promotion for 48 hours once every 7 days to promote their clan out to the world. I like it. Players will be able to send an application to other clans even if they're part of one. Oh, that's a little bit that's a little bit contentious, but there you go. That's actually quite interesting. The members tab will display the last logged in time for every player in the clan. That's good. It's good to be able to see, activity in your clans. You want active clans. You want people that are kind of in there for the duration. Clan invitations in global chat will become available. That's actually very cool as well. And clan invitation will be available in the player tab info. Okay, that's actually a good set of quality of life improvements for clans, I think. Miscellaneous here then. Doom Tower rankings and best teams will now display the number of turns it took the player to beat a floor instead of the time. Okay. So if someone's beaten the floor in 3 seconds somehow, but it took them 90 turns, they're not going to be in the top 10. Currently, the rankings don't really mean anything. If there was more of a meaning behind them, then maybe people would be a bit more like first month everyone was up for it. So it's like, first challenge. I'm not sure if people are that up for it anymore. Maybe they are. Maybe it's just me. Battle result tab will now display the number of turns taken to beat the stage as well as overall time. And then they've got a bit of a change here to Agref. So in the penultimate battle against Agref, the Nether Spider, her max HP will be decreased. So I guess it's been called out that she's been too tough. It'll be decreased in the hard difficulty, floor 60 currently, floor 70 coming up. Agref will not be affected on other floors. Seems a bit random. I guess they've just seen in their analytics that people have really struggled with that floor. These changes take place after the second rotation of Doom Tower is launched. So there we go, guys. What do you think of the new gear sets? What do you think of the changes to clans and stuff? I think actually 4.1, it's a decent patch, but these bosses are going to be damn tough. I've been Hell Hades. I will see you later.